Hello and welcome to The Update. I'm Heidi Tiltons. Anthony Albanese says his heart goes out to residents affected by flooding on the East Coast, recommitting to federal government support for residents and businesses. The Prime Minister has spent the day in Hobart after touring flood-ravaged communities in Victoria and central western New South Wales yesterday. Mr Albanese says the danger isn't over yet.
It is expected that there may well be more weather events on the way. So I say to people, follow the advice that emergency services personnel are giving.
Treasury officials are trying to work out the impact of the floods on the budget bottom line, with barely a week to go until it's handed down. Jim Chalmers says the weather event will push up inflation.
And so what we're trying to do today, in real time really, in this building, is to see if we can include a bit of an assessment of that. It's very early days. We don't know the full impact, but if we can give a bit of a sense of that in the budget, we're going to try to.
Heart disease remained Australia's leading cause of death in 2021, followed by dementia, stroke, lung cancer and chronic lower respiratory disease. According to the latest stats from the ABS, COVID deaths were ranked at number 34, most of which were associated with the Delta wave of the virus. But there was a sharp rise in alcohol-induced deaths, increasing by close to 6% on the previous year. Pauline Hanson is considering an appeal after being ordered to pay $250,000 defamation payout to a former One Nation senator. Brian Burston launched court action after Ms Hanson accused him of sexual harassment on social media in a text to his wife and in a TV interview. The federal court has ordered Ms Hanson to pay $250,000. Westpac is closing almost 24 branches across the country, taking its tally of closures to 95 within just 4 months. It means several towns will be left with no face-to-face support for their finances, while more than 90 people will lose their jobs. And more than 1,000 Ukrainian towns and cities are without power after Russia's airstrikes on the country's energy grid. 30% of the nation's power stations have been destroyed in a week. In sport, it could be a bit of a soggy affair for Australia's opening T20 World Cup match against New Zealand on Saturday. The SCG is to get a soaking, with rain forecast for Sydney over the coming days. South Australia's Premier believes it would be a huge mistake for the AFL to play a proposed magic round in New South Wales. The league is toying with the idea of playing a full round of matches in one state to help showcase the game. And veteran jockey Damien Oliver will ride Caulfield Cup winner Durston in the Melbourne Cup. Trainer Chris Waller has confirmed the appointment and says the horse is in good order. In entertainment news, Vince Colosimo has avoided jail after pleading guilty to drug and unlicensed driving. The Underbelly actor has been fined $2,500 and had his licence cancelled for 16 months. Britney Spears is back on Twitter, posting yet another nude photo. The latest snap shows Britney posing naked on a bed as the 40-year-old star prepares to mark a year since she was freed from her conservatorship. And Daniel Craig has been handed the same honour as his iconic character James Bond from the Princess Royal at Windsor Castle. The 54-year-old was made a companion in the Order of St Michael and St George in recognition of his outstanding contribution to film and theatre. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcast News team, but we'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of The Update.